Marvel Tōkon Fighting Souls beta came and went, and somehow, and I and many others somehow got into the beta. It seemed like it was very hard for anybody to get into the beta, even a lot of big content creators weren't getting in, but somehow Sony graced me with one as well as many others eventually. And so I'm going to share my thoughts with the beta with you as well, and see how Arc System Works' take on classic Marvel characters is going to stack up compared to one of our other favorite fighting game franchises that maybe another company that has a blue robot character that they never do anything with. You know, maybe it's somebody else's turn. Now let's get this out of the way. You need to make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video because I want you to know that I'm working to make videos. I'm going to create some new content, so if you can give that like, give that share, that's much appreciated. And also, you do yourself a favor by watching something that's really cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. My mom thinks it's cool, so you should too. This isn't your grandpappy's Marvel game. This is not Marvel vs. Capcom. You're not going to do a motherfucking infinite with Iron Man doing these loops and all that jazz. No, this game is kind of almost plays 1v1 in some ways with tag mechanics, and the gameplay feel is closer to Dragon Ball FighterZ if you're familiar with that game. You got your light, medium, and heavy attacks, but you also got a partner or assemble button, which allows you to do things with your tag partners. You even have a unique move button that allows each character to go use a specific move that's unique to them, such as Captain America having a bouncy shield. Bouncy. But yeah, if you're thinking, how am I going to play this? I'm just going to use my old muscle memory from MVC. You're not going to do it. And you know what? I really appreciate the fact that this team did not want to be a carbon copy of what came before. They wanted to try something new, and I think they got a good start going here. Let's first talk about the graphics and the sound. This has that Arc System Works energy we're so used to, with highly polished anime art style as well as a heavy rocking soundtrack that gets stuck in your brain. So far, it's not the most catchy music. We only have a handful of tracks, but by their standards, it's pretty good. Voice acting is currently in Japanese. No idea if there's going to be an English dub yet, but I guess we'll find out at some point, right? And there's so many Easter eggs. I have to say this. There's so many Easter eggs in this. The stages and stuff, the backgrounds and animations look fantastic. So I'll go ahead and say that. All that stuff looks great. All looks fantastic. But let's talk about the Easter eggs. People are finding Easter eggs in these games, and they're finding it in the stage background. There's only one stage in the beta so far, but what we've seen in it, there's like mentioning Oscorp, like just Spider-Man references, Daredevil references, just all kinds of stuff all over the place. And it's just so amazing, the love and attention that they put into this. And I don't expect any less from these guys. I'm glazing them, but damn it, they deserve to be glazed. And how I mentioned the animations and stuff looks so fantastic here. You expected from Arc System Works, they know how to do their anime art style, and they've integrated the Marvel comics enough to where, like, it's anime, it's different, but yet the Gundam looking dude in the red paint, you know that's Iron Man. You can tell that's Iron Man. He's just got that little bit of anime flair. Even Star-Lord, the guy in the mask, kind of gives me that Tokatsu kind of vibes with his mask and stuff going on there. Kind of Kamen Rider-like type thing going on. But their presentation, of course, is on point. And I think, personally, so far, this is probably one of their best-looking games. Now you're probably wondering, how the heck does this game play? As mentioned before, we got the light, medium, heavy, and partner attacks, and the unique move button, but this is still a tag game. But you don't constantly switch in and out of your teammates like other versus games. You have a shared health bar, and switching from Captain America to Miss Marvel is not going to have any health benefits because you're both sharing the same health bar, so if you're not careful, you could take extra damage and get happy birthday all over the place if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. So you want to avoid tagging at the wrong times, which I know is kind of an obvious statement, but this more so because you don't just lose your character's life, you lose your entire round because everybody shares the same life bar. But the tag will definitely be important because you'll use it to extend in combos. You can cause interrupts between opponents. You can tag characters and switch up your play styles, but you're not punished though if you stick with one character the whole time. you will benefit from calling an assist, and you'll want to make sure you're doing your assist. But keep in mind that if you do want to play as one main character and just use assist and not have to switch and learn 2 or 3 different characters, this game's not punishing you for that. It's actually kind of interesting, the approach that they're doing to this. So how the assist system works is that you have a team of 4, but you only get access to 2 characters from the start, your main character and your first assist. But you gain the other ones through either knocking someone into another part of the stage or by losing a round. This will cause your other assist team members to come in one at a time until you get all 4. I didn't mind this. I think this made it feel like you want to figure out your approach to team synergy and your setup. In each slot, team has a designated role, such as a partner 1 can use a projectile assist, or number 2 does a DP assist. Keep in mind that swapping out partners swaps their places in the spots. So if you're not careful and you tag out and you forget which one goes where, then that's going to be difficult. The other problem I had in the beta as well is that sometimes when I hit the direction and the partner button, I didn't feel like it gave me the one that I wanted. So then it just kind of seemed like I don't know if it was just that I wasn't hitting them at the proper timing or whatever, but it didn't feel as responsive, and tagging seemed a little slow, which I'm hoping they'll, speed up maybe later on. But that was my big gripe with the assist team, is that I would just wish it was a little more responsive. But there's other synergy mechanics too, like you can do DHCs, depending on if you have enough meters, so you can tag in one super into another, and things like that. Movement in this game feels fantastic. You can air dash, you can run, you can backdash, you can even, for some characters, have flight, which is really cool and beneficial. The only downside to flight is, unlike in Marvel vs. Capcom games, if you're a flying character, you can fly and attack. With this, you can only fly, so you don't get the option to attack. So if you fly, you have no defensive options. You just have to, make sure that you don't get punched in the gut. But the freedom of movement in this game is so fantastic, and more fighting games need to have more freedom of movement options. Listen, I love my air dashers, and this is air dashy as air dashy can be. And all the hits and the gameplay feel good. Like all the button presses, all the punches, all the kicks. The impact feels great. The weight feels great. Everything feels so good and responsive when it comes to when you're hitting the buttons. So except for the partner, like I said, that feels like that's not as responsive to me. I feel like that could be a little quicker. I feel like the timing could be a little better. But everything else just felt really good. And I know there's a big point of contention because this game does feature auto combos. And I know that's like, auto combos, I can't stand them. But consider them more a part of the toolkit, because when this game gets figured out, once people are going to get into training mode and stuff, people aren't going to rely on auto combos so much. And only the people that stay with just auto combos and don't try to learn anything else are going to fall by the wayside. It's not going to be as powerful. And I can see them looking into making that a thing, because this game feels like there's depth to be found here. Like, it's very easy to pick up and play. A little confusing with some of the mechanics and systems because there's a lot to it. But it does feel very easy to pick up and play, but I feel like there's so much to master. There was like a TNS tournament. They did a tournament for the beta, and like so much stuff was getting found. It was ridiculous. Sonic Fox was on there fighting all kinds of stuff. It was ridiculous. While some of the moves and some of the attacks might look samey, each of the characters feel different in their own way. And I think I like it a lot. The team I rocked with during the beta was Captain America on point, along with Iron Man, Star-Lord, and Doctor Doom. I didn't really play around with Storm and Miss Marvel, but I can't say Miss Marvel looks stupid strong and she should be banned. I'm just kidding. But she definitely is OP. And if you watch that tournament that I mentioned, Diaphone really beat the crap out of everybody with Miss Marvel, and shows that she's a force to be reckoned with. And if she gets nerfed, I wouldn't be surprised. But she is very strong and very easy to use, and I can see why so many people were using them. And it was giving me a hard time because everybody was using her, and I was just like, stop it. I want to hit you. Let me hit you, stretchy girl. But Iron Man, I thought, Captain America, of course, has that shield tossing thing that he does in all the media that he's ever in. but I think it works really well here. Like I say, his unique move has a shield that just bounces around all over the screen. It's really good to keep people at bay, keep people at distance. He doesn't really lose the shield, unlike in Marvel vs. Capcom where he could throw the shield and just lose it. No, it just always comes back to him. He always has it. And he has like a DP uppercut motion, and he just feels great. Iron Man has a tiger knee. I mean, it's not the tiger knee motion, it's a DP motion, but he just has this, like, just upper knee thing that he does, and I think it's really crazy and cool. I love his beam supers that he just use to keep people back. He has a lot of projectiles. His flight gives him a lot of mobility, which is great for getting away, or I've used it to cross people up. So that was fantastic as well. Star-Lord, definitely kind of a ranged, but he also has like gimmicks, like he has grenades that like freeze you in place. He has his guns that change elements, like the ice element that will basically lock somebody in place, which is great for combo extension. And then also Dr. Doom, I haven't played around too much, but some people really like him. He seems to be a bit trickier to use. There's a lot more in depth. I will say it is funny to watch Miss Marvel get shot at by Dr. Doom with a pistol, because Doom just whips out a pistol. He has finger lasers, but he also has a pistol. Because why not? I mean, just because you shoot lasers from your fingers doesn't mean you don't want to carry a Glock, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I had a blast with what I played. Unfortunately, like I said, we didn't really have training mode, so my understanding of everything is very, very basic, so I apologize that I'm not more in depth when it comes to explaining this stuff. But I really enjoyed what I played of the team, and I pretty much switched between Captain America and Iron Man as my mains quite a bit. Lastly, we'll quickly go over the online, but the online's not bad. It's the same typical fare of like, you know, if the connection's good, then you're going to have a good time. If the connection's bad, it's going to kind of suck, but it's not going to be the worst experience ever. But you're going to want to avoid those connections. It does have a Wi-Fi indicator. Oh, and they did bring back the little chibi avatar arcade lobby thing where the machines sometimes don't work, which I don't know why they still do that, especially since they're testing out that whole ranked mode in Strife, which is a much better improvement than their tower system. So I don't know, they have a thing for that. You know, we could do without. Overall, though, I really dug my time with Marvel Tōkon Fighting Souls, and I can't wait to try another beta. Hopefully I can get into another beta before the full launch of the game. But my biggest issues, like I said, tags sometimes don't seem super responsive and can be a little messy. If you can get your teams mixed up and stuff, so when it comes to an assist, you gotta try to remember, like, okay, where is my assist? Which button do I hit to get the particular assist? Because, like I said, each assist is designated to what spot they're in, so the type of assist the call they do is different between them. More incentive for tagging, more incentive for using assist, and let's make this chaos. Let's make this chaos. Let's let it be death, destruction, and chaos. But so far, this has a solid foundation, and I can't wait to see what they do next with this. So I appreciate you sticking through my rambling, and if you enjoyed my impressions of Tōkon's Marvel Tōkon Fighting Souls, not Tōkon's Fighting Souls, Marvel Tōkon Fighting Souls, let me know down below, and let me know if you're still excited to keep playing this game. If you didn't get into the beta, are you looking forward to it whenever the game comes out? But yeah, anyways guys, till next time, game on.